One more thing that we are started to get to open an online shop.
You're going to open an online shop for your
Yeah,
school?
no, just for the student, like something I collaborate with two with another two of my friends. And then we
Mm,
say like because we're so poor right now and I have a bunch of things that I want to buy. So
mm.
why don't we open an online shop?
But
So
the grab delivery is not working at the moment, if I'm not
yeah,
mistaken.
it's not working at the moment, but we just get the stuff in my
Mhm.
house and in their house, and we started to like do some preparation. And when the 16th, what do we call it that? Like the lockdown is
Yeah,
end.
the quarantine, yeah.
Yeah, it's end, so we can start it to shipping them.
Okay, that's really smart. Just make sure you don't have a backlog. Backlogs is like when you have a lot of
Yeah.
items and you have to deal with them.
No, we just started with about 600,000. So not a lot, but I need to pay for all of it because my friend doesn't have a bank account who can like give me the money,
Wait,
and we
are you
are
600,000? You mean like Vietnam dong or
yeah,
items?
yeah, of course Vietnam dong.
Yeah, I was scared for a moment. It's like, how? Okay.
I don't have that much money.
Okay. Anyways, Mary, I'm gonna move on to the next students now because we have 3 hours and today's a busy lesson as always, but we'll leave some time to share more. Tao, your turn.
Uh, yeah, great. Okay.
I can.
Hello, teacher. I'm very sorry for my late assignment, but I have done my homework.
Mm-hmm.
And this week, I think is a very tight week
Mm,
because I have many class, many homework because
mm,
we need to prepare for grade 9 because next year we have a high school exam. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
so
Okay.
study from the morning till night, just that. So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, sure. I don't necessarily mind. I do need you to complete it. So at least complete it before the lesson on Saturday if you don't have time during the week. Okay,
thank you.
no problem. Ling, your turn. Camera's still off.
Give me a moment. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
I have, uh,
Okay.
why my camera doesn't work clean.
It worked for a minute and then it stopped working. Try to fix it. In the meantime, just tell me how was your week.
Okay, I think it's okay. Hello.
No, it's working fine. Okay, so how
Yeah.
was your week, Ling?
My week our school start next week we will have a last school term test
Mm-hmm.
and we have to study long class.
Yeah,
This morning I have to study until 11.
11. Mm.
Yeah.
What kind of subject did you have to study?
Sorry,
What kind of subject did you have to study?
I have to study all to prepare for the test.
Oh, I see. I see. Okay, so you're busy just like everyone else. That's really stressful, I imagine. Okay, thank you, Ling. Joe, next. Hey, Joe.
Hello.
Keep the camera on, Ling. Hey, Joe. Yep. So how have you been?
This day I still learning and yeah, do everything about learning.
Let's see. Just like everyone else. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Short and concise. Thank you. V, your turn.
Hello.
What's up?
So like everyone, I'm going back to school like online,
Mm,
and we're having our last test in grade 8, it's gonna be online, and like you have to show your camera at your desk. I don't really like that. Like,
Yeah.
be really weird, and there will be like kids who will like not show it, and it will be really complicated.
And if you guys have the same rules as us, we failed the kids that didn't show their cameras. We didn't allow them to take the test, basically. And at first they received ones, but then the parents complained, and then that was changed to letting the kids do the test again, but they have to follow the strict rules. If they cannot follow the strict rules, the one will remain. So they followed the rules after that.
Oh, okay, but I still prefer the like we do it offline. So
Of course, it's more convenient, honestly, and less opportunity to cheat as well. Okay.
and yeah, my dad.
When's the test?
The test, we will have another week to review, and then the following week we will have the test.
Okay, so the following week, 2 weeks. Okay, cool. Thank you. Okay, next one, Hung. Since you turn on the camera, go for it.
Hi. I don't know, by somehow it's a lot of homework suddenly appear in this week,
Yeah.
and I think it's gonna last a long time. Why quarantining? Yes, quarantining.
Oh, definitely.
And all of us start struggling with them.
Yeah, it is going to be difficult now with 15 days of quarantine, and definitely the school will require you to do a lot of homework. So I'm sorry, honestly sorry. Okay, Hung, thank you. And Ming, Hui Ming, last one.
Yes. First, I'm sorry for having done my homework.
Okay.
I have to. I have asked to Joe how to submit my work, but when I came back, it was too late.
Mm-hmm. You can submit it late. It's better to submit something than nothing. So I prefer it late. So it's okay.
Oh,
yeah.
I promise to finish it maybe.
Okay, please. So how was your week? Did you also had to study a lot this week?
No, I'm still on summer vacation, so I play almost all day.
Oh, so you play games, but you didn't do the homework. Okay.
And try to make some cake.
Oh, that's cool.
What kind make caramel.
Wow, that's really cool. Nice. Is this your first time baking, or have you had a previous experience?
I've tried twice this week, and I don't know.
Baking is really hard. It's like a science.
Yeah.
But since you're good at chemistry, maybe baking is really good for you. So that's cool. Okay, thank you very much, Hui Ming. Okay, everyone, let's start the lesson. So everyone has joined. I can see 8 students have connected to Nearpod. Congratulations. Please make sure that you keep your camera on. Make sure you have your notebooks ready. You have to take a lot of notes today. Pens and pencils ready to write in. And we don't need a backup device, hopefully. So today, mock test, reading. So 1 hour is going to be extremely horrible with you doing the reading test now. So everyone, I will send you the exact link for the mock test in the chat. Please click on it. I don't need this one. I don't need this one. There it is, reading. Okay, so everyone, please access the following link in the chat. And when you click on it, it will ask you for a password. The password is going to be this. Where is it? There it is. It's going to be Olympia 2021. So everything is lowercase. So OLYMPIA 2021. So input the code like this and press submit. You've done this before with the listening test. You have 60 minutes to complete the test, and it will automatically submit, or you will have to submit yourself. So if you have any questions about any of the reading passages or any of the instructions, let me know, and I will answer. So for 60 minutes, we are doing the mock test now. Good luck. Okay, I think Mary is the only one who's not connected yet. Any difficulties, Mary?
I was a little bit lagging with the Wi-Fi.
Okay. And Joe, I can see, is also struggling. Joe, any issues? No, just not in front of the camera. Please be careful with some of the questions, especially the yes, no, and not given, because I randomized the questions for the test. They will not be in the correct order. So in question 6, for example, you have yes, no, not given, but in question 7, you have yes, not given, and no. So just be careful when answering. Make sure you're answering the correct choice, right? Tao, keep the camera on, please.
Yes, 1 minute.
Sure. If you're struggling to read, you can zoom in. Use your mouse wheel or the functions on your web page to zoom in. Okay, Joe, you're a little bit late. Please join in the quiz in the chat. The code is Olympia 2021.
Leo,
Yes.
in the question 10 from 14 to 20, so there is the number 15 that after that is we need to have a full stop or a dot there to stop the sentence. So
No,
do we need to add it or just write the word?
just write the word and you can actually just copy paste it. Just copy paste from the table and it should be
Okay.
fine. Yeah, you don't need to change the form. You don't need to add any dots. Just copy the words exactly as they are from the box.
Thanks.
Cheers. Okay. So far, I'm just waiting for Cho to finish, but those are quite good results. So, anyways, uh, I've already set up that you can see the feedback for each answer. So you can spend this time now to check your answers and see which questions you were wrong and why. You can dispute some of the questions. Maybe there's more than one way to answer that question. And if you find that kind of question, just drop it in the chat, ask me directly, or contact me on Zallo, and then we can adjust your score a little bit. So for the time being now, you have a 5-minute break. So go get some water, stretch your legs. After that, we'll continue with the lesson and we're not gonna have another break. So 5 minutes, relax for a bit. We come back at 3:21.
Leo.
Okay, everyone, turn your cameras back on. We're back. Okay, welcome back, Mary. Well, Joe, good. Hui Ming, you back? Oof, okay. 2, 3. Okay. Okay, so let's go through each one, one student to check if you're back. So Ling, you back? Are you happy with your score?
Yeah, 29.
29. That's good. You don't, yeah. All of your scores are within the B2 range, more or less. So, and they range between 6 to 8, I think. So that's excellent. Nice one. Hung, what about you?
Oh, I feel disappointed a bit.
Why?
Like there's some question I didn't notice it, so I
Hmm.
made a mistake.
Yeah, oftentimes you make silly mistakes and you lose points on that. And that's why we're here to practice. Still good first attempt. Nice one. Let's continue. Next one. Mary, how do you feel?
I feel bad.
Not happy with the score?
It's like the rest of like from the test. What is this test? From question 16 turn up,
Mhm.
it's totally fine. Like everything is so great. I didn't find a lot of mistake there.
Mhm.
But the question 80, I have 9 minutes. Like I have 9 minutes to fill in all the blanks, but
Mhm.
I did it all wrong. But it almost correct, but it's wrong.
You left too little time for the last activity. Remember, you need to spend
Yeah.
about 20 minutes. And in all honesty, it goes from the easiest to the most difficult. So the first section is usually easy, the second one is harder, and the third one is usually the hardest. So technically, the way it looks, it's you should spend about 10 minutes for the first section, do it really quickly, then maybe 15, 20 minutes for the second section, and the remaining time, section 3, and transfer your answers to the answer sheet. But because we don't need to worry about the answer sheet, you just focus on completing the sections. So don't leave 10 minutes for the third section. That way you will fail. It's not a good idea. That's usually the hardest one. Okay.
Reading test.
Yeah, still not bad score. Joe, how do you feel?
I think it's easier than the listening test.
Oh, definitely. I think you're better at reading. V, what about you?
I feel really tired and quite disappointed because I made silly mistakes. Like the bottom fish one, it was supposed to be no space, but I spaced. So
It's supposed to be on bottom fish, actually.
yes, on bottom fish, but
Yeah.
it was 3 words. Like I put a space between bottom and fish.
Bottom. Oh, I see what you did. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because my eyes were so sore, like
Mm.
staring at the text.
Yeah, and that's a really sad parts oftentimes, like Hung or Ling said, it's often the silly mistakes that get you. Okay, still good first attempt. Okay, let's continue with the lesson anyways. So this was your mock test. I'm really happy that your scores are basically at level that you're supposed to get, but remember that you also have listening, writing, and speaking. So even if you got 6.5 in your reading, I don't think that's enough. I think we need to get your reading maybe to a 7 or a 7.5, with the exception of students who already got an 8. The higher you get, the better it is for your overall IELTS score. Because if your listening sucks and if your reading and your writing is not that good, then maybe the reading section can help you out. And this lesson is going to be dedicated to our reading tasks. So please copy the objectives in just a moment. Oh, I actually did not prepare this one. Okay, so I don't really have the objectives for the entire lesson. So we're going to do this in two parts. We're going to have part one, vocabulary, and then part two, exam skills. So start off with writing down the objectives for vocabulary. The topic is family. So vocabulary is about family. You will recall previous vocabulary about this topic, and then you will show your understanding of the vocabulary and collocations related to family through various activities. The outcomes will be you complete all the activities in Nearpod. You will understand 80% of the target language by completing all the tests, and the final test should be at around 80%. That way I know that you managed to get all the vocabulary from this lesson. So quickly copy, and then we can move to the next slide. All right, I'm moving on to the next slide. So let's continue. Okay, so the very first activity, I'm going to divide you into two groups, and you guys have to write down individually, but still talking to each other in the groups, which words can you use to describe relationships of the people in the photos. We don't have a photo, but let's say, let me go back to the previous slide. So this picture here, you can see a lot of people, right? Pictures on the right and pictures on the left. Beautiful, beautiful pictures. So what kind of words can you use to describe these people? What words come to mind? Maybe friends, maybe brother, maybe boss, etc. So with your team for 2 minutes, just really quickly discuss and write down what words come to mind. Go for it. Write it down. Hey, perfect. Camera's back on. So, first picture, Tao. What words come to mind?
I think here is a family.
Family, excellent. And what members of the family do you think are here?
Uh, oh, let me see. Grandma.
Yeah.
And the she's had a son, and here that her daughter-in-law, and
Mm,
and the boys and the little boy and little girls that her let me see, grannies and grandnephews,
oh,
and
wow. Yeah,
behind her that
excellent words.
her husband.
And husband. Yeah, cool. Thank you. Really good guesses. Let's continue. Let's say Hui Ming. What words come to mind when you look at this picture?
I think they are business partner.
Business partners. Yeah, could be.
They're boss and wives.
Wonderful. Thank you, Hui Ming. Also, Ellen, Hui Ming, Hung, Ling, and Cho, cameras on. Next one, Cho. What words come to mind when you look at this picture?
Friends,
Friend.
classmates.
Cool.
Yes.
And let's say, Ellen, what about this one?
College, college, classmates,
Mhm.
schoolmates.
Yep,
Friends.
absolutely. Thank you. Perfect. Thank you very much, guys. Yeah, quite good words, good vocabulary. So this brings us to the next activity. We're going to recall some of the vocabulary for family, like looking into the family tree, some things you might remember. I think Tao has managed to give us really good details like niece, nephew, grandniece, sister-in-law, and that sort of stuff. So let's see how much you actually know. So in the same teams, team 1, Ellen, Hung, Mary, and Hui Ming, and then team 2, Ling, Cho, and Tao, and V, you guys will play Bamboozle. And here we go. So 2 teams, 16 questions, classic with random power-ups. Let's actually go back and adjust the points. So lose points, and let's say a timer of 20 seconds. Take turns with your teammates. You can help each other out and answer the questions about family members within the family tree. And we start with team 1, Ellen.
We're team 1, so I want number 1.
Number 1, of course. Your mother's mom.
Grandma.
Grandma.
Correct. Okay, next one. Team 2. Ling, Cho, Tao, V. Go in order.
Number. Hey, Tao, choose it.
5. Number 5.
Number 5. There it is. If you have no sisters or brothers, you are what?
The only child.
Only child?
First.
Yes, correct.
Oh, yeah.
Good job.
Really?
Yeah, back to you. Now it's Hung, Mary, or Ming. Team 1 faster.
Let's choose number 2.
Number 2. Wonderful. Your wife's sister.
Anybody?
Is aunt or
Aunt.
I don't know her.
Your wife's. You're married to this
Aunt,
woman.
aunt, aunt, what?
Aunt,
What is
aunt.
I was looking for sister-in-law. Again, you are married to the wife. You are married to the husband. So that's a sister-in-law.
But
I
we
thought-
call aunt.
Really,
Not-
yeah.
It's not no. Aunt if it's your mother's sister, or it's if your
we
father's.
have daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law is from the husband house.
Dot again. It goes back. So any relative that is married into the family, in this case, you're on the same level. So you are married to your wife, or you're married to your husband, and their brother or sister is your brother-in-law or your sister-in-law. Yeah,
But we learned out.
I'm
We
sorry.
learned it when we just 3 years old.
So sorry.
I use that word for almost more than 10 years now.
Okay, Ling, Joe, Tao, and B, your turn.
13.
13, lucky number. Your daughter's husband.
Con rể là gì nhỉ?
Son-in-law. Son-in-law.
Correct.
Yeah.
Good job. Next one. Back to team 1.
Number 3.
Number 3. Your mom's new husband.
What? What do you mean your mom knew husband?
In Vietnam, they call dưỡng.
Yeah.
Anyway, you are the kid and your mom has a new husband.
No.
Stepfather is a
Daniel.
stepfather.
Stepfather.
Stepfather. Stepfather. That is correct. Good
Stepfather.
job.
Oh, we have stepmother. Oh my god.
Okay, next one. Back to team 2.
Number 10.
Okay. Your uncle's son.
My cousin.
Cousin. Correct.
Yeah.
Team 1.
I want Huệ Minh to choose. I want Huệ Minh to choose.
Okay, Hui Ming, choose.
Oh my god. 12.
12. Nice. Win 5 points. Not a lot, but 3
Really?
points. Okay, team 2, your choice.
Number 4.
Number 4. Your sister's son.
Son-in-law.
My nephew.
Nephew.
Nephew? Is that your final answer?
Yes.
That is correct. Congratulations. Okay, next one. Back to team 1. Mary and Cho, cameras back on.
Ellen,
Whom you want to choose?
I'll choose number 7.
Number 7. Your mom's sister.
What is sister? What? Wait a second. It's aunt.
Yes, correct. Okay, team 2. Yep.
15.
15. Swap points.
Oh,
Oh God.
Oh my
oh
god.
my God.
No. No. Why is how this?
Okay, team 1, back to you.
6.
6. No points. Team 2, your turn.
14.
14. Your new husband's son.
What?
Uh,
Son-in-law.
My stepson.
Stepson.
Stepbrother.
Your new husband's son.
Your
Husbands. So you're married to the person.
Oh,
new- My
So-
stepson.
Stepson. Stepson. That is correct. Okay, next one. Team 1, back to you.
Anyone? Hui Ming or Ellen?
9.
9. Okay, your mom and her new husband's son.
Wait. What the? Your mom and her new husband's son. So is that son?
It's stepbrother.
No. Your mom and her new husband, son. Her new.
So is it stepbrother or what?
It's stepbrother because my mom married a new husband and the husband have a son. So it's stepbrother. Like
Okay. But it's still your mom though.
No. It's your mom, not you.
Okay. Now there could be 2 answers here, stepbrother or half brother, but they are different. So you're gonna go with stepbrother. That was your final answer. So let's see.
Half brother.
It's half brother actually. So we'll learn about the difference between half brother and stepbrother today. I'll show you a picture, but yeah, they're different.
I hate this.
I'm sorry. Okay, next one, team 2.
I don't want to choose. Joe?
Well, but another point is good for you
16.
guys actually.
Joe, what was the number?
Number, yeah, 60.
16. Your dad's father.
My grandpa.
And
Yay. Okay, last choice, team one. You can still win. I believe in you.
Gaming.
Stop point. Lose
Okay.
point.
Gaming.
So 8 or 11, 8 or 11.
Choose your lucky number.
I don't know. 11.
11. Okay, your mother's grandfather's.
My grandfather.
What?
Wait,
Grandfather.
two. No, not.
So great grandfather or
Great
great.
grandfather.
Great grandfather.
Okay,
It's great grandfather.
correct. Congratulations. Okay, let's see if team two gets a lucky number or if they're gonna lose. You got, but you might still make a mistake. Your husband's mother.
My mother-in-law.
This is so easy.
Correct. Team two wins. Okay. Cool. So don't worry about the half brother and step brother. We're gonna look at it today, actually, which is a good thing. So if you want to check this quiz out, you can check it again later on in Bamboozle. It's called Family Members. But now we're going to look at these words, and I need one person to read them out for me. Let's say V. Can you read out all of the words in the box, please?
Acquaintance, boss, business partner, colleague, flatmate, friend, great uncle, half brother, mate, relative, sister-in-law, stepsister, and stranger.
Okay, wonderful. Out of all of these words, let's see. No, I don't need this yet. Out of all of these words, do you know all of these words? V.
I don't know the flatmate and half brother.
Okay, that's still really good. Okay, what about you, Mary? Do you know all of these words?
Yes.
Oh, that's perfect. Okay, demonstrate your knowledge of these words by drawing 1 to 4 next to them based on the background image. So I'll show you. So where is it? So grab one of these pencils, and then, for example, near acquaintance, it's either in your family, you work with, you know well, or you don't know well. So acquaintance is probably number 4, right? Alternatively, you can use the text box. It might be a little bit more, difficult to do this, but you can potentially do this. And for example, colleague is someone you work with. So that's number 2. And here we go, done. So do this very quickly for all of the words here, and we'll check your answers.
Leo.
Mm.
I'm actually not sure for the acquaintance. Like we know them, but
We don't.
it is more than stranger.
It's more than stranger, but it's still somebody. Stranger is somebody who you don't know at all,
Yeah.
but we don't have that option. Acquaintance is somebody who we know a little bit, but
Yeah,
not
yeah,
too
yeah.
much. Yeah.
But like if we put do not know well for strangers, like a little bit not enough.
Yeah, but we only have 4 options. So you'll have to
Okay.
choose the best possible option from what's given. But yeah, you're right. Stranger doesn't really fit that well with it.
Okay.
But we don't have a choice. Hung, I don't see you drawing anything. Okay, Ellen is finished. Good job. Let's.
Teacher,
Yep,
what the relative mean? The love relationship of friend.
it's family.
Oh,
It's like you do, for example, the relative visit during Tet holiday. So relatives means family members,
yeah.
grandpa, grandma, cousin, everything, like everything with family. Yes, Ellen, beautiful pictures. Good job. Mm, I see Tao is finished as well. Cho is finished. V is finished. Ming is finished. Mary is finished. If you're finished, just submit the answer so we don't have to worry about it anymore. Ling is also, I think, mostly finished. Okay, so let's go with Tao. Can you read out all your answers for me, please? So just go through like in your family, which ones did you write down?
In my family, they have uh, um, my great uncle,
Mhm.
half brother, a relative, sister-in-law, stepsister,
Mhm. Okay,
and
everyone, do you agree with her? V, do you have the same answers?
Yes.
Okay, next one, Tao, continue with number 2.
yeah, who I work with that my boss,
Mhm.
my
Business,
that's all.
yep, business partner and colleague. Yep, you're correct. Mary, can you continue with number 3 and number 4? What did you write down in number 3?
Me,
Yes.
I write down number 3 is 2 and number 3 and number what? Wait a second. I write down number 3 is 2 and number 4 is 2.
So number 3, what did you what people
The
are
business partner.
you wrote down for number 3 business partner?
No, I mean I write number like I write number 2 for number 3. It's me like I write number 2 for business partner.
I see. Anyways, just verbally tell me which people
Okay.
you know well. So you wrote down flatmate. What else?
And like flatmate. Wait a second. I didn't get what you said.
You just need to tell me which words you put under number 3.
Ah, okay. So it's like well is we are flatmate, friends, mate.
Okay,
Just that.
cool. And number 4?
Number 4 is acquaintance and stranger.
Okay, excellent. So I think for the most part, you are all right. So let's check your answers. Uh, can you guys, just to be on the safe side, Cho, can you submit your answer so the system recognizes that you have completed the task for participation? I think she's absent. Oh no, you're here. Okay, so yes, you were all right. We got great uncle, half brother, relative, sister-in-law, and stepsister under family. We got boss, business partner, and colleague under people you work with. We got people you know well under flatmate, friend, and mate. And finally, you got people who you don't know well as strangers and acquaintances. So good job. You know these words well. So now let's see if you can actually do the following activity. In this case, some of the words like guys, great uncle, triplets, half brother, step brother, sister-in-law are confused. So you need to write down true or false whether the statements are true about this word. Basically, is this the definition or is this correct? So do this in the next slide and check if you're right or wrong. You have technically 5 minutes, but I think you can do it quicker. You can use a dictionary. I suggest Cambridge or Oxford Dictionary, so I can copy paste this for you in the chat if you need it. Otherwise, you can find it yourself. But you only have 5 minutes. Okay, everyone is finished. Congratulations. So, yeah, really good percentage. I think just 2 mistakes in one case and then 1 mistake for other ones. So let's go for a little bit of clarification so we're on the same page. So the first one, okay, let me first show you the answers and then we'll go through that one. You already have the answer key. So share, Mary, for example. Okay, so the first one is true. Guys can be used for both for girls and boys. Oftentimes, I use this all the time. You probably noticed that. For number 2, it's actually false. A great uncle is not the father of your uncle. A great uncle is the brother of your grandparent, technically. This one is a little bit weird because the statement is not necessarily correct. Next one, number 3. Number 3 is true. So you're right, triplets. A half brother is not the same as a stepbrother. I've already told you that. And number 5 is true. Your sister-in-law can be your husband's sister or your brother's wife. So it can be both family or family that have gone, like basically when you marry into someone, other people become your sister-in-laws, brother-in-laws, son-in-laws. So they don't have to be your blood, but they become family by extension. So a little bit of a demonstration about a great uncle. So for example, you are here, you are under self. Where is my annotation? So I'll just indicate this, draw, here you go. So we are here. Now, a great uncle is, so your mother or your father's brother is your uncle, right? But your father's father's uncle, if that makes sense, is your great uncle, right? Does that make sense? It's a little bit difficult to comprehend, but basically that's what it is. So if we go into, let me remove annotation. If we go into great uncle, here you go. A great uncle, an uncle of your father or mother. So if you think about it, it's basically like your grandparent, if we go by chronology. So it's basically like your grandparent, but we're going from the perspective of the father or the mother. So that means it's their uncle, it's their relative, right? So it's the same thing as your mother's brother is your uncle. So that's kind of the explanation. It's a little bit confusing, but that's what it is. So you can look at this chart. You can copy it if you wanted, or I can send it later, and you can try to wrap your head around it. The next one that might be confusing, this one. The next slide. So this one is related to sister-in-laws and mother-in-laws. So in this case, the heart indicates that they are married. So the brother is married to a person who is not part of the family. So that's his wife, but she becomes a sister-in-law to anyone else, like to sisters or brothers from the family, right? But by that extension, sister-in-law, like because she is married to the brother, the sister of the brother becomes a sister-in-law as well. So relatively simple to understand. Basically, you get married into the family. And then the last one, the half-brother one, let me remove the annotation so you don't have to look at it. Undo, 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 undo. So let's say you have the first marriage, and from the first marriage you get a brother, a son, right? Then we had already a son from the second marriage, and then if they have like at least one person, then they are half brothers, right? However, if they are basically from different families, then they are stepbrothers. So stepbrothers are more or less not connected by blood. Half brothers are connected with half of the blood. I think that's probably the easiest explanation, right? So they are not the same thing. It's more or less about whether they're married with whether they're connected by blood or they're not connected by blood. I think that's probably the easiest way to understand it. Okay, so that's it. I think that's the explanation for this one. Mary, are you confused about these words?
No,
No. Are you confused about the great uncle?
I'm not actually, because like great uncle is the grandfather brother.
Basically, yeah. I kind of got introduced to great uncle from Grunkle Stan from Gravity Falls. Before that, I didn't even know.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I understand that.
Okay, cool. Let's continue. Next one. Let's remove the annotation. Cancel, cancel, cancel. Clear all drawings. Okay, that's the explanation that was given to us. So we're going to continue with the next slide. Okay. Which one is this one? Troubled. Here we go. So this one is just like a survey. Looking at these words: troubled, extended, non-identical, adoptive, close-knit, and what was the last one? And close. How many of these words do you know? Just select a number. For example, I know all 6 of these words because I made this lesson. How many of these words you know? like don't look them up in a dictionary. It's just a question like if you saw these words in a test or if you saw these words in a text, would you understand them? Do you know what they mean? I don't have 0, sadly, because I think you at least know one word. So I went for from 1 to 6. Okay, Ellen, I see you've selected 3 words. So which words do you think you know?
I think is like trouble, extend, and the last one is close, right?
Close. Okay, so what do you think troubled means?
It's some like problem, right?
But trouble or troubled. Is there a difference? Like when you have,
This is problem.
yes.
Oh, I really don't know this. My eyes have problem again, and I really dislike trouble.
It's still,
Oh,
it's still,
I'm so
it's,
sorry.
it's still close. Trouble means problem. Troubled is an adjective. Yeah. So trouble is a noun. Trouble, a problem. Troubled is an adjective to describe a person. So like problematic or having a bad situation. So you're kind of right. Tao. Let's see how many Tao knows. Tao. You say you know 4 words. Which of the 4 words do you know?
Non-identical, adoptive, close-knit, and close.
So what's the difference between close knit and close?
It's like close. I think it's just on, and close-knit is like groups.
Oh, I like that one. Interesting explanation. Okay, thank you very much. So let's see if you can actually identify the definition for these words. So some of you, even like V and Mary, know 5 of the words. So that's amazing. So let's see if you can actually get the correct number of answers. Look at the text and use these words: close, extended, adoptive, close-knit, non-identical, and troubled, and fill in the gaps. You have to drag and drop. Okay, Hung got 3. Good. V got all 6. Good job. Okay, Ling got 4 out of 6, and Mary got 4 out of 6. Good job. Although Mary, you did promise 5 words.
I did no, I say 5 word, not 6 word.
Yeah, but you got 4.
I don't know why. Because there were 6 words. So when you miss one, you will do wrong 2 of them.
I guess you're right. Yeah, good point.
I say 4.
Math.
Math. Well, that's why I'm an English teacher, not a math teacher.
Okay. Oh, by the way, I have a 9.1 for my second term. Average score for math.
That probably makes Joe jealous.
I got a 10 at the last term test. I'm really proud of myself, but it's higher than my English point.
Maybe the test was easy, or maybe you're actually really good at math.
No, not really good at math. The test is easy.
Okay, let's go with maybe Huiming. Huiming, what did you write down for number 1?
It is non-identical
And the
and
second one?
close bond.
Close bond. Why not close knit? Any ideas?
Near? Yes.
Okay, you are right. It is close bond. So in this case, we don't really say like close knit bond. We say close knit family, close knit community. It's one of those things in English, you know, like awkward phrasing. So when you're a native speaker, you don't make awkward phrases. But when you're a non-native speaker, you can oftentimes use close and close knit incorrectly by matching them with different nouns, which don't sound that good. So you can say close bond, but you don't say close knit bond. You can say close knit family, but you don't say close family. You can say maybe our family is close. Yeah, so that can be a potential way changing the structure. Okay, number 2, Ellen.
I put in the extend.
Correct. Number 3, Hung.
Close knit.
Correct. Number 4, Ling.
Trouble.
And adoptive. Okay, good job. So that is correct, 6 out of 6. So just to clarify, I've explained about close and close knit. It's just collocations or noun phrases that work well together. Extended family, what's the opposite of an extended family, Mary?
It's like a very big family have many generations. Like maybe you have your grandfather, grandmother, you have your mom, your dad, and then you and your brother and your sister, kind of like that.
That is the extended family, and the opposite is just like mother, father,
Yeah.
brother, and sister. Do you know the name of that kind of family?
What do you call?
Starts with an N.
Mini.
Now, where is? There it is. Is it nuclear like this? Nuclear family? Yeah, correct. Nuclear family. So nuclear family, a family consisting of 2 parents and their children, but not including aunts, uncles, grandparents. Yeah. Believe it or not, it is called nuclear family, you know, like nuclear as an atomic.
Power.
Yeah. It's related to the nucleus of the cell or the DNA, and it's like a biological term. It's like the closest family, like the ones immediately. So nuclear family. And then extended family, we already know that's the aunties and everything else. That includes aunties, uncles, and additional. Okay, let's continue. Next slide. Okay. Okay, so for this beautiful activity, you guys will need to choose the best title for this passage. And I think I have, do I have a quiz? Yeah, I do. Oh no, not yet. Do I have it? So strange. Okay, so I don't have an activity for this one. So can you just quickly skim the text and give me the best possible name for this passage? 1, 2, or 3?
The modern family unit. It's very confusing.
You want number 1?
I don't know because I see the modern family unit at the first sentence.
Read. So a little bit piece of advice, a topic sentence is a good way to identify the main idea. However, sometimes the topic sentence is actually the second sentence, or sometimes it's better to read the concluding sentence as a summary of the main ideas, because in academic text, oftentimes the last sentence is going to be like a mini summary of the paragraph. Okay, let's go. Ellen, 1, 2, or 3.
Because I assume like marry because I see the modern family in the first sentence, so I just think that is one.
Okay, but Mary is now showing 2. Do you agree with Mary that it's 2? Mary, why do you think it's 2 now?
I don't know. I see something like people to make a will, something like why should it?
Yeah,
Yeah, but like a will,
a
it
will.
is important that you make or update a will to ensure that your money and this are your wishes.
Yeah, exactly. And then, for example, if you're married and registered, so this will invalidate the previous will that you made. So will is repeated constantly in this text. So honestly, it is important for people to make a will. This one, it's just not the topic of this. Even though the first one, it's more like a hook. It's something to introduce, uh, like just basically to catch the reader's attention. But the focus of this paragraph is to talk about wills. Families undergo many distressing changes. While they mention some circumstances may change in this sentence, it's not the main focus of the paragraph. So number 2 is the correct one. So good job on that one, Mary. Clear all drawings. Okay, next activity. I want you to find the following words in the text and highlight them or underline them, up to you. You got 1 minute to do so. Find will, spouse, estate, inheritance, and decease. Find them and highlight them. Oh no, time's up. I don't think I can extend the time. So let's see if you got all of them. Let's see, Mary. Okay, you got will. Yep, you got spouse, you got estate, you got desist, you got will. So we're still missing inheritance, and we're still missing something else. Okay, but that's a good attempt. So in the next activity, you'll have a little bit more time to do this. So read the passage again. Find these words: will, spouse, estate, inheritance, decease, and invalidate, and match them to their definitions based on the text. So don't go online to find the definition. It's try to guess the definition after reading the text. Like try to guess meaning from context. It's really important because during your IELTS tests or in other tests, you don't have a dictionary, so you kind of have to guess it from context. So you have 2 minutes. Good luck. 30 seconds, quickly. Ten seconds. 3, 2, 1. Oof, I guess it was a little bit hard. Okay, let's see if we can. Oh no, we cannot edit the answers. That's so annoying. Okay, so who has full marks? So one by one, we'll go through them, and you guys can note this down in your notebooks in the meantime. So spouse is the person who is, like it's a formal term in legal documents, either a husband or a wife. So for example, this document certifies that the deceased spouse, so the deceased person, like somebody who died, and then that person's spouse, husband or wife. So you don't have to worry about writing down wife or husband. You just say spouse. Then the next one we got deceased. Deceased means dead. It's a fancy way of saying dead person. Next one we got number 3. A will is a legal document. So this is the thing that you write down to say, okay, Mary is going to get my house and her brother is going to get the car and money and that sort of stuff. So it's like a legal document to say what's going to happen with the money and the property after somebody dies, like your parents, your grandparents, or something like that. Sometimes when they don't have a will, then it's really problematic to know where the money goes, but there are legal documents like laws in each country that says either the government gets all the money from the dead person or the family members get it. So it's kind of weird. So a will is better to make sure that, the money goes into the right place, into the right people. Estate. Now this one is tricky because it's really similar to inheritance, but the key difference is estate means property. So houses, buildings, flats, that sort of stuff, where you live, a place where you can sit down. Inheritance just means money, clothes, jewelry, possessions. So that's the difference between property and inheritance. Sorry, estate and inheritance. And the last one, invalidate. Invalidate is basically like canceled. It's no longer valid. Valid is, okay, we accept it. Invalid, no, we don't accept it. It's wrong. So invalidate is a verb to say something that is no longer being not allowed to use. Maybe because, like, if you write down a mistake in the paper, like in a document, and then let's say you misspell Tuming's or V's last name, and then that's it. The document is no longer legally binding because you have the wrong person on the document. So I think that's about it. So a little bit difficult words, but they are really helpful. Let's go to the next slide. My Nearpod is lagging. Bear with me for one moment. Here we go. Okay. So let's get maybe one question. Ling, what's the main difference between inheritance and estate? One more time.
I think I don't know what to say.
Okay. V, what's the difference between inheritance and estate?
Estate is like somebody's property.
Correct.
Inheritance is like kind of the estate that that the people, I don't know how to explain it.
Okay, so like I said, the difference, both inheritance and estate include money. That is true for both, but inheritance focuses on possessions. So like jewelry, clothes, anything inside the house, whereas estate is about the property, the building. So flat, house, summer home, that sort of stuff. So that's the difference. Possessions and property. Property means house, possessions means things. Okay, that's the main difference. Just make sure you understand this small difference, because they will, some questions might be tricky because of that. Okay, so checkout quiz. 10 questions about different vocabulary that we just studied. You have to get 80% in this one. You have, I guess, maybe 5-10 minutes to do this. So good luck. All right. So I think you're all done with it. So let's go through my Nearpod as a quick check. Ellen, what did you get for this one?
Extended, I
Correct.
think so.
Next one, V, what did you get for number 2?
B. I mean C.
Okay, correct. Next one, Hung, what did you get for number 3?
Close.
Correct. Hui Ming, what did you get for number 4?
Number 4.
Correct. Number 5, Ling.
By a will.
Correct. Number 6, Mary.
Inheritance. No,
Correct.
estate. Oh, what? I thought it's estate.
Including her. Yes, estate.
Estate.
Okay, next one, Cho. Ming Cho. Okay, Cho is AFK. Tao.
Relative.
Correct. Hui Ming, one more time. Number 8.
Identical twins.
Next one, Ellen. Number 9.
Triplet.
Not troubled, troubled.
Trouble.
Okay, good. And final one, Hung, 10.
Invalidate.
Okay, cool. So that should be all the correct answers. So I think all of you are within 80%. Yes, you are within 80%. So congratulations on that one. So just a few minor hiccups with a few questions. Hung, number 1 and number 9. And then, oh, Cho got 3 mistakes, actually. That's a little bit of a shame. Okay, review your mistakes just to be on the safe side. Let me check the most common ones. So the most common one is number 5, and the most common one is number 9. So let's look at those really quickly. Number 5, go last will and testament. So in this case, if we look at number 5, it talks about pretty much everything. And in the will, you talk about everything. The will is the property, the possessions, the items. You basically write down who gets what. The uncle gets this. So let's say you guys are my family. So when I die, before I die, I create a will. So for Tao, I will leave my laptop. For Mary, I will leave my iPhone. For Hung, I will leave all my money and that sort of stuff. So that's how the inheritance, that's how the will works. You write down who gets what. That's sort of the thing. Next one, A was the, number 9 was another problem. So we usually have the collocation or the phrase troubled past, troubled history, troubled childhood, that sort of stuff. Adoptive past, we don't, adoptive parents, adoptive family. So collocations, adoptive family, adoptive parents, probably the only ones you can use, maybe more. Troubled goes with childhood, past, people, that sort of stuff. Okay, I think that's about it. So yeah, that's about it for the vocabulary. Now let's refresh the page and continue. Okay, please copy the second objectives for today's lesson, and that is exam skills. For the second part of the lesson, we will look at heading matching. We will look at paragraph structure. We will remember some techniques, how to read the text quickly. And to demonstrate your comprehension of this, you guys will complete all the activities and you will try to read as quickly as possible and complete the final activity correctly. So copy in your notebook some of the objectives and outcomes. Okay, 1 minute to copy. All right, let's move on to the next slide. Hong, Huiming, and Ling, please turn on your cameras back on. Thank you very much. And for the first activity here, I'm going to put you into the same groups one more time, and you guys will quickly discuss and answer this question. How do you find the main idea in a reading passage? Reading passage is just a fancy way of saying the text, the text that you're reading, and explain your technique. So each of you write down a few examples of how to do this, or how do you do it. You have 2 minutes to discuss and write down. After 2 minutes, I will close the rooms. Good luck. Are you guys even discussing?
We have
but you haven't written down anything. So what are you
But
doing?
like, I don't know, should I write it down? So like, it's actually not a technique.
Everything's a technique in this case. Write down something instead of writing down nothing. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, same for everyone else. Hung, Ellen, and Hui Ming as well. Please.
Okay.
Thank you. You guys are not writing down anything. What's up?
Writing.
Are you now? So are you gonna write down in the next minute? Joe, V, Tao, what about you?
Yeah, I'm writing out something.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, I'm writing.
okay. Be quick, 1 more minute. I want to see something posted, even if it's short. We don't have a lot of time left. Cheers. Cat, go away. Okay, time is up. So post whatever you have. So one more time is up. Post whatever you have, even if it's a few words.
Leo, in
Hmm,
my screen, I'm seeing a lot of word now.
what's wrong with your screen?
It's like your screen is
Not updating. I see. Okay, look at the sentence, the last sentence, find keywords, identify topic, maybe reading, concluding, read the passage, of course, read everything, read carefully and think about what they want to say, look at the keywords. First sentence up, it explains the subject being discussed in the passage, find keywords, read the title, try to understand why the question says, predicted, I'm not sure about predicted. Find the repeating words and relating words. Summarize the article. Ooh, really good one. Find keywords. Find keywords. Okay. I see a good, honestly, a good pattern. Finding keywords is especially cool. Read everything. Yeah, maybe if it's skimming, like if you're doing it extremely quickly, read carefully, think about what they want to say. This one, I don't necessarily agree. When we read for main ideas or we're reading for gist, we don't really read in detail unless we need to comprehend, like we call it reading for comprehension. That's a little bit more detailed. When we're reading for main ideas, we usually just read the topic sentences and the conclusions in order to understand. If we still cannot understand it after reading the topic sentence and the conclusion, that's when we read more carefully in order to get a broader picture. So overall, good ideas. I love it. Thank you, guys. Let's continue with the next one. So the next one is going to be a quick diagnostic test on how quickly you can actually read. The next slide will have a short paragraph with around 100 words. Actually, it's not a paragraph. It's like a passage with 2 paragraphs, but it's only like 100 words. I think. You will have to select one of the main ideas out of 3 options, and you will have only 1 minute and 30 seconds. Now, an interesting reading fact is that an average adult in America reads between 200 to 50 words, whereas college or university students can read up to 300 words per minute. The IELTS academic test, the total, the one that you did today, for example, it had about 2,500 words in total, and each text was between 700 and 900 words. So you can do the math and see that the quicker you read, the better it is for, for your performance. But obviously, you also have to read in order to understand everything. But that's just some interesting information about reading numbers. Okay, so one more time. 100 words, select the best option. You have 1 minute and 30 seconds. Go. Okay, 30 seconds, be quick. $15, 10, 9, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, finished. Okay, let's refresh the page and see how well you did. Okay, Tao, did you manage to answer the question?
No, I'm reconnecting.
Oh, you got disconnected. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say, Ellen, what answer did you pick?
I picked the first one, A.
The first one, A. Why did you pick A?
Because when I read it,
I
I was,
don't think I can
how can you say that?
Let me see if
I don't know. I just pick it. Like is.
Okay.
I think there is a close meaning to the paragraph, so I just pick it.
Okay. Family and affects how they grown up lives and relationships. Okay. The correct answer was actually B, because it gives advice on parents and their grown-up children on how to behave when they are together. So I think I have a slide ready to explain that for you in just a bit. Oh no, I actually did not. But basically, if we, I sadly don't think I can I activate the test again? I think I can. Let me see. Yeah, so just to quickly illustrate, the first paragraph kind of just introduces the point, but then it talks about you can easily end up remembering childhood problems and start behaving as an angry child, but you resist. Meanwhile, parents should remember that you are no longer in charge of their children's life. Parents need to enjoy their children who they are now and adults rather than behaving like they were and have more control over them. So technically, starting from here or somewhere around there, it talks about how they should behave, essentially, both adults, the parents and the grown-up children. Okay. Anyways, next one. You did a match heading activity in section 3 today, so you already know what it is about. Your match heading activities was about like orcas, you know, the killer whales, and there were like multiple options there. So it's a common activity, and you're probably going to see it in your real IELTS test. But in all honesty, I think it's probably the easiest one because you actually can just skim the text really quickly and identify the, you know, like the main idea of each paragraph and then select the correct heading. You don't need to read in full, you just need to skim. So this is a quick survey. So where can you guys find the topic sentence? We all know that topic sentences are usually the sentences that have the main idea of the paragraph. So where do we find them? Can you also, everyone, thank you, Mary, you're an amazing student. The rest of you turn on your cameras. Okay, so Ling, where do you find the topic sentence?
I think at the beginning of the paragraph.
Can you find it in the first and the second sentence? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely right. Sometimes it's the first sentence, sometimes it's the second sentence, but it's always at the introduction of the paragraph. So good job. Okay, yeah, you guys are absolutely right about that one. Next one. So the paragraph structure is extremely, knowing the paragraph structure is extremely helpful to skim, because you know that the topic sentence has the main idea and that the concluding sentence might have a summary. It's good to know that when you are skimming. So in the next few slides, you will look at 3 different paragraphs, and each paragraph will have 3 questions that you will need to answer. Some of the questions will require you to highlight, like in my example here. You can see the beautiful highlights in green, blue, and red, information in the text. So let's start with the first slide. Basically answer the 3 questions and use a highlighter if necessary. In this case, underline or highlight question 1 and underline the word that breakup refers to in the text. And then for question 2 and 3, you can just create a text caption and write down with words.
No, I didn't get what we need to do.
Answer the 3 questions.
Mhm.
So where's the topic sentence? Highlight it. Does
Yes.
paragraph A become more specific or more general? You just read the information. Is that specific information or is that general information? And in 3, what does breakup mean? What does it mean in the text? Where can you find what it means?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, good. V, excellent. You did not answer question 2, Ling. Okay. I think all of you are more or less correct. So let's go with Ellen. You have highlighted the first sentence as the topic sentence. Is that correct?
Yes,
Do you think that the paragraph actually becomes general?
because it's not so like into details. It's just like
Really? It found that 42% never see their grandchildren, even more, 67%.
I think that is in general because
Now,
my
now, as soon as you start getting numbers, as soon as you start getting statistics, as soon as you get starting names, locations, like that's the key of specific information. So it actually becomes specific. General,
I can't understand.
yeah,
Because I think is the grandchildren is I think it's all over the world. It's not into some countries, so I think that is general.
yeah. If you look at it, that yes, but they do talk about numbers. Uh, so yes, it may be all over the world and not in a specific country, but they still provide data and information. So based on that logic, it's specific. Can it be more specific? Maybe, but it's not general. It would be general would be something like most people, all people, some people, you know, it doesn't say numbers, it gives words instead. Okay, and number 3, have you managed to get it, Ellen? What's number 3?
I not really understand the question is, but yeah, I not really understand.
So, okay, that's okay. Let's try to get from someone else. V, what do you think breakup refers to in the text?
It refers to the marriage ending in the
Okay, and what do we call a marriage ending?
a divorce.
Exactly. Yeah. So number 3 refers to marriage ends, which means divorce. That's about it. So you can highlight marriage ends, and if you know what the word is, it's divorce. So in IELTS, you don't necessarily need to know like in TOEFL, there's a activity called what does this refer to, and in those cases you need to like indicate what it refers to. But in IELTS, as far as I remember, you don't need it, but it's still helpful when you are trying to understand parts of the text. Okay, so just to recap, sentence 1 is a topic sentence. Number 2, it becomes more specific, and 3 refers to marriage ends, which is a breakup. Okay, next set of questions. Which sentence is the topic sentence again? Highlighted. Remember that the topic sentence might be the first or the second sentence, or maybe sometimes the third, but it's in the introduction. So find it. Which sentence expresses a similar idea to the first sentence, but with more detail? And then finally, the paragraph says the value of grandparents to children should not be underestimated. Is this the same as saying the value of grandparents to children is very important? So just answer yes or no. That's it. Yes or no for number 6. Okay, let's go with Mary for this question. Where's Mary? There you are. Okay, so Mary, go through each part. So which sentence is the topic sentence?
First one,
And which sentence expresses a similar idea to the first sentence?
the last sentence.
Excellent. What do we call the last sentence, by the way?
Like conclusion.
Concluding sentence. Yes, correct. And you wrote down yes for number 6. Correct. Okay, so interesting information about the concluding sentence. The concluding sentence can be either a summary of the paragraph, it can be an opinion of the author, or it can be the extension of the topic sentence. So that's why we always recommend you to read both the topic sentence and the concluding sentence in each paragraph. So congratulations. Okay, I've already kind of shown this one in so in exercise 7.9, I've already kind of shown it in the first slide. So I'm gonna skip it, and instead I'm just gonna show you the answer key. So for number 1, the introduction, let's see, where's my annotation? Format, no. Okay, so here we have the introduction, the first sentence. Then the body is going to be the middle or the main part with all the supporting details, and then the final one is the concluding sentence, where you basically get a summary or the final information, right? For number 8, which one of the 3 parts expresses the writer's main point? It's the topic sentence, right? Oftentimes, like 90% of the time, it's going to be the topic sentence, right? Even if it's not always, it's most of the time. Like if we go back to our test, where is it? Preview. So let's say, let's go back to the third paragraph, to the third passage. We had it as an example. So in the third passage, you had to match the titles with the paragraph. And B, C, and D, it's literally the first sentence. Toxic substances, okay? So toxic substances is going to be toxic exposure. Water sounds around island, busy, international commercial shipping, fishing, whaling, watching, and pleasure boating. So boating, right? So let's go find boating. We have boat traffic. Perfect. Really easy to find. And final one, similar surface impact, primary source of acoustic pollution, acoustic pollution. Acoustic, I think we did like noise pollution before. And I don't know, maybe we mentioned acoustic. Acoustic means sound, and pollution means something bad. So sound pollution means noise pollution. So let's go check it out. And underwater noise. Perfect. So see, like just literally reading the first sentence, you can get the idea. In A, it's a little bit more difficult, and in this case, I would argue reading the last sentence gives you more information about the main idea. But for B, C, and D, you just had to read the first sentence and you got the main idea. That was so easy. And then finally, the first sentence mentions family-friendly society and environmental friendly. Friendly just means like kindly, good, opposite of harmful. So I don't know why they even mentioned that question. We're already over the time limit, but I still want to finish this lesson. So let's skim through the last few questions so then you can go for your dinner with your family. So in the next slide, you guys will have to choose the function of the paragraph, and please do it really quickly. What is the function of each paragraph? You don't have to highlight it. You can just write down the letter next to the number. So 1 is what? 1 is C, 2 is what, and then 3 is what? Okay. V, what did you get for your answers?
C, B, and A.
Absolutely right. Okay. So I'm not going to wait up for the rest of you. So let's move on to the next slide. If you got C, B, and A, you are absolutely right. You can find cause and effect in paragraph C. In B, you can see that they argue. So it's they argue some kind of case. And in A, they kind of introduce the topic, give information, and then they give a description, right? So relatively easy. Why do we need this? If you know the function of each paragraph, you know where to find the information. That's it. That's literally it. The next activity we're going to skip because we don't have enough time, but I just want to point out the importance of like annotating while you read. So the next activity was supposed to be about you reading 2 passages and summarizing the main ideas. And for example, this is the first text that you read about alternative transportation. And this is when I did this IELTS test myself, just to test it out. And while I was reading, I quickly noted down like the main ideas or the key details in each paragraph to save time later on. So you should get into a habit of it in the future as well, to kind of indicate quickly to yourself what is the focus of each paragraph. So we're skipping this activity. We don't need it. And then we have the last final activity for today's lesson. So matching headings. Quickly tell me or write down how many paragraphs or how many sections do you see in the passage? Hui Ming.
There are 5
How many headings are in the list?
headings.
List of headings.
9.
9, absolutely
Yeah.
right. So how many headings will not be matched to a paragraph?
5. 4. 4.
4, correct. Yes. Okay. So Mary, question for you. In the IELTS, in the IELTS reading test, will they give you more headings than you need?
Yes.
Absolutely right. So some of these are just fake headings, and the only thing you can do is ignore them or identify which ones are not going to be used and just leave the ones that you need. Next slide. 5, 9, and 4. Perfect. Okay. This is your final activity. You have 5 minutes to read the text and match the headings with the text. You got it? You can download the PDF. You can access it. It's up to you how you do it. You can do it by clicking on it to the left side or to the right side. And if you don't want to read it, you can download it here. Find it. Okay, 5 minutes and write down your answers. This is the last activity. Oh my God, I feel so stupid. I was talking all this time. Okay, just to quickly sum up what we covered. We covered today vocabulary for family, noun collocations, and different phrases, correctly using them. Exam skills, we covered heading matching and how to skim paragraphs by reading topic sentences and concluding sentences. Your homework assignment is homework exam practice and discussion headings. For your answers, only Tao got the correct answers from what I can see. So either Tao has the answer key somewhere or she is a master reader. Either way, really smart Tao, good job. Next lesson, I will check your understanding of this lesson through a short quiz. So if you need to review the lesson, you can watch the video that we covered, or I will upload the slides later on and you can check them. Any questions before you leave for your dinner?
Do you have homework?
I just mentioned it's under assignments.
We
homework.
still have homework.
You have homework every single lesson, Miss Mary.
Okay.
Yes. So yes, homework, exam practice, homework, discussion headings, these two. Got it? Cool. You guys are free to go now. Enjoy your dinner and I'll see you next week. Do not forget to do your homework. Ellen, stop playing with your finger.
Good night.
Good night or good evening. Or
Goodbye.
goodbye.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.